the next question that we have is it possible for someone with a family history of hypercholesterolemia to get off the statin medication on a vegan diet? And the question goes on to say that is there any evidence to suggest that when you have a hereditary high cholesterol in your family, whether you can reverse that with a vegan diet? Well, the answer is you absolutely can. There was a study that was done back in 1987 that basically showed that when they put people on just soy, and this was children with really high elevated levels of cholesterol, and they put them on soy food, that their levels dropped down to normal levels in many cases, and overall they had like a 22% reduction in their cholesterol levels, which is quite significant. And people like Dean Ornish and a number of people over the years have found similar things, by switching people to a vegan diet, that their cholesterol levels have dropped. Now, as far as this stuff about hereditary, people say, well, we've had a family history of having cholesterol. There's a number of things that we need to understand about this, and that is that usually what we inherit from our parents and from our grandparents is our dietary habits, and is our habits in terms of when we eat, how we react to stress, and how much sleep we get, and all these sort of things, all these sort of patterns we inherit. People like Dean Ornish have actually shown that when you take people that have got a history of cholesterol or a history of heart disease or a history of diabetes, you change their diet, nothing else, then all of a sudden those DNA markers for those diseases switch off. And people that had a history of it, all of a sudden it stops, with that individual when they change their diet. So I don't really see that there's much evidence that these sort of conditions are hereditary. They tend to be more a reflection of the environment, and your environment is mostly the food that you're eating and your emotional state and how you respond to stress and so forth. And when you change those, the vegan diet, especially one with the whole foods. When I say whole foods, I don't mean just for the vegan junk food people. I don't mean a whole donut or a whole can of Coke. I actually mean like a whole apple or a whole avocado or something like this. But when you go on that kind of diet, it has a dramatic effect in reducing cholesterol. The liver also produces cholesterol on its own when you have too much acidity, like when you because cholesterol is very good at mopping up acids and toxins out of the body, and plant-based diet is also great for reversing that as well.